This is one of the greatest turnarounds in business history. A Swedish company struggling for 20 years drastically changed course to become a $10 billion oat milk brand. This turnaround story will teach you more than a $200,000 marketing degree in just 2 minutes. Here's the story of Oatly you didn't know. So, in 1994, a company started by two brothers from Sweden created a perfect lactose-free milk alternative, oat milk, but was unable to even come close to penetrating the market opportunity. Even after 20 years in business, they were a local brand in Sweden and hardly did more than $30 million in sales. They were struggling to make people choose oat milk in the grocery store because people didn't even know that oats could be milked. It was competing with other plant-based options, including soy milk within a small market, just 15% of the total dairy market. But things were about to change for Oatly. In 2012, Tony Peterson became the new CEO of Oatly. He and his team changed the entire game plan for the brand and revolutionized the entire plant-based milk industry in a few years with just a simple 3-part plan. They crafted a new voice for Oatly, which was quirky and humorous.
Wow! Wow! No cow!
But their new game plan was to get back to the basics. Here are their 3 major moves. Move number 1, changing the packaging. To give a makeover to their old, bland, boring packaging, they used a block and bubble letter typeface and spelled out Oat-Lee in the center. This brought tons of attention to the word oat instead of oat drink, which they previously had on the box before. The copy on the packaging changed from Swedish to English to make it more accessible to the global audience. Why? Because the new packaging was bold and fresh, far more eye-catching on a shelf in the milk aisle. This move was to give a perfect first experience to its consumers and differentiate themselves from every other dairy product on the shelves in the supermarkets, whether they were actually made with real milk or a milk alternative like oat or soy. Move number 2, positioning the brand towards sustainability and environmentally friendly ethics. Their core target was people for whom a plant-based diet is a lifestyle rather than a habit just for healthy benefits. Simply put, they were targeting vegans. Instead of selling milk, they decided to sell a sustainable lifestyle. They even authorized a report that showed Oatly is a better choice for the environment than any other traditional dairy products. The report said oat drinks from Oatly can reduce greenhouse gas emissions and land use by 80% and reduce energy consumption by 60% as compared to traditional cow's milk. With this information in hand, they went on to make bold claims about the superiority of oat milk. They even printed it on every single milk carton. I like to call this educating your existing customers so they become evangelists. Here are some examples of things they put on the side of their boxes. We promise to be a good company. Here's what we believe, so on and so forth. Next, they launched campaigns against the dairy players themselves. They led with taglines like "Wow, no cow," or "How to be cool." This visualization of the Oatly way versus the cow's way was to demonstrate that the nutritional profile of oat milk was better suited for humans than cow's milk, whose nutrients are naturally designed to grow a calf. It was clear they wanted to become an activist brand. This inciting stance provoked a backlash against them. The Swedish dairy lobby sued Oatly for it. They had an issue with the visual, which they felt showed that dairy milk comes out of, quote, a cow's bottom, not the udder. Oatly actually lost the case, but their new CEO, Tony, published the lawsuit online, just like a true activist brand does, and used the attack to its advantage. They showed that they were being bullied by the big bad dairy companies, and they generated loads of free press. It got them support from their target audience, vegans, and their sales went up by 45% in Sweden, all from the crazy free press from the lawsuit. To milk this cow even more, they spent more than £700 on billboard campaigns in the UK. They targeted these billboards with slogans that were banned in Sweden. Everything about their brand was fun, and as a result, they made a fan base quickly. Here's an example of a billboard that they ran in the UK. It's like milk, but made for humans. I freaking love this. Number 3, their third big move was to penetrate the US market through a back door. They realized their potential customers in the US are willing to pay more to avoid dairy, but they didn't know how much they would prefer oat milk over their other milk alternative competitors, like soy milk, almond milk, coconut milk, and others. The question was, who can convince these customers to opt for oat milk? Oatly found their answer in local baristas. To attract them, they created the Barista Blend. It was thicker than other plant-based milk alternatives that these local coffee shops were used to using. Baristas preferred this Barista Blend from Oatly because they were able to make cool designs with their cappuccinos using the thicker foam. It also gave the same experience as a foaming whole milk, so the baristas agreed to promote it to their curious customers. While other plant-based milk brands forgot about the middleman, Oatly doubled its customers. The math is simple. 2 + 2 = 4. If baristas recommended oat milk to people, the conversions would be a lot higher. But here's the thing, they didn't go to Starbucks right away. They looked for the coffee lovers' favorite local coffee shops and hopped on board with them. I always say, go where your potential customers are. It's basic marketing 101, but way too many brands forget this. By the end of 2017, the Barista Blend was available in 650 local coffee shops in the United States. The new game plan Tony and his team created finally paid off, and by 2018, the demand for oat milk grew massively. At the time, a 12-pack of Oatly that cost $50 could be found on Amazon for over $200. And in 2020, their sales skyrocketed to $424 million in revenue, a massive 106.5% jump. In 2021, they actually took the company public and raised $1.4 billion at a valuation of a whopping $10 billion. After the IPO, things have slowed a bit due to people realizing how much sugar is actually in Oatly, but they're still projected to do more than $800 million in revenue this year. Today, their products are sold in over 60,000 retail stores and 32,000 coffee shops worldwide. This is a classic marketing turnaround story. In summary, here are a few amazing takeaways from Oatly's turnaround. Number 1, a game-changing CEO who thinks differently can be extremely helpful. Number 2, turn your losses into opportunities. By them turning their literal lawsuit loss into free press, they were able to drastically capitalize on a loss and find major success in free press. Number 3, tailor your brand to your customers' needs. It's simple, but way too many brands forget this. Number 4, brand positioning is everything. They're not just another milk alternative. They are the alternative fighting the good fight for our planet and for your stomach. And number 5, be bold and creative against your rivals. If you liked this video, please hit that subscribe button for more videos just like it. Chat soon.